Hi everyone, welcome to Our Casa Sweet Casa. I'd like to share with you some books I got recently for summer reading and also some bilingual books.
Come on in, come on in, come on in to our Casa Sweet Casa.
So before I go into the bilingual books, these are two books that I got from Amazon. I bit the bullet and just paid the shipping for them, and because I'd seen them in different recommendations from other homeschool moms, and I thought that I like to get books that I can just keep around and that they'll be drawn to them by themselves also and want to look into them, and then they'll come up to me and show me what they saw on their own. And it's already happened with these books, so that's a good thing. The first book, probably seen before, maybe if you see other homeschool YouTube moms, but it's Maps. I'm scared of saying the authors' names. Alexandra Mizielinska and Daniel Mizielinski. There you go. Maps, and it's the perfect kind of book for them to get on by themselves, just get interested into, because there's so much to see. And I think it's a really good atlas book because it just shows them the territory of the country and the different cities, different monuments, but it also has some culture in there. And my oldest has really enjoyed seeing different either stories. She saw, like, for example, in Canada, wherever it is, I don't know where Canada is, but in Canada, she saw Green Gables and Prince Edward Island, and she got so excited to see that. So also, my second is really into American presidents like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, and she loved seeing them in the United States page. And so it's just so lovingly illustrated, and it has so many things, and it's such good quality, the pages. I love when pages are easy to turn and it just feels natural for them to turn the pages. Here are painters and composers from the different countries and all the different sites. So it's a great book to just have around, and also reference book. But it's a good book just to have around, and that they can just look through and become excited about some of the things they learn on the different countries. So we really like this book. And also from that order in Amazon, going on the same vein of learning about different cultures around the world, we got This Is How We Do It by Matt Lamoth. One day in the lives of 7 kids from around the world. And so my girls have gotten the chance to go to places like Guatemala or Dominican Republic, and different places that have different cultures and different ways of life. So they've seen that we don't all live in the same way. But I thought that this was really interesting because it has the different houses so that they can appreciate what they have and different ways that people live and how their lives might be different. I also appreciated that they show different types of families from the different countries, different ways that they dress, different foods that they eat, different schools, and different roads and buildings, cities, and living in the country. So I thought that this was a really cute book. Also, I love the illustrations, love the feel of the pages. Is that weird? That I like how a page feels. But I do appreciate when a page is good quality and is a good one to turn. So this is the families gathering together. So it's also about families around the world. So I thought this was a good book to look into together, but that they could also pick up by themselves. And this is going a little long, but these are the books that I got. The last thing I want to show you is that I saw some bilingual books that I got from Scholastic through a school teacher friend of mine. And I like to get bilingual books because, forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, but we are a bilingual homeschool. We teach completely in English and in Spanish, full language arts, everything in both languages, because my girls are bilingual at this point, English and Spanish. But for picture books, I like to also get bilingual books because they can pick, what do you want to read in Spanish or do you want to read it in English this time? And they can start relating the words. So I got these beautiful picture books that are bilingual. They're in English and in Spanish, like I mentioned, from Scholastic. These are paperback, they are not hardcover. So I'm a little bit worried about how they will last, but need to let it go. So this is Hello Ocean, Hola Mar, by Pam Munoz Ryan, translated by Jaritzia Canetti and illustrated by Mark Estrella. And I've seen this book before. It's in English only. It's a beautiful book about the ocean. And so you see that it has on both sides, it has it in English and then it has it in Spanish right beside it. I also like to get just Spanish, just English books, obviously, but for picture books, I think it's good when I'm still learning to have both. And if you can read both, well, it's good to read both, or you can practice with your child reading in Spanish, and I think it's a good thing. So Hello Ocean. Going on the same vein, I got a bilingual book called What a Tantrum, Vaya Rabieta, by Muriel DeLance. It's also a bilingual book. This one has it English in the top and then Spanish in the bottom. And it has different fonts for the languages. Also, kind of going on emotions, I thought this was a good one for my little nephew. I'm going to give it to him. His mom wants to read him in both languages. Tough guys have feelings too. Los tipos duros también tienen sentimientos, by Keith Negley. And so here's also where it's English in the top and the Spanish in the bottom. And the illustrations seem really cool, and I could grab a little toddler's attention really well. And it's also about emotions. And I like this one. This is also one that I just thought was cute. I Wish You More, Te Deseo Más, and by Amy Krauss Rosenthal and Tom Lichtenheld. And English in the top, Spanish in the bottom, and they still can look at the really pretty illustrations. And you can alternate at the same time, or you can, I asked my little girl, do you want to do it in Spanish or in English? And then she tells me depending on what she wants to do. And she gets the idea of how both messages sound. Also going on a really cute book, I got I'll Wait, Mr. Panda. Yo voy a esperar, Señor Panda. This is just cute. Just got it because it's cute. And my oldest one, though, this is way above her, under her age range. She loves pandas, so I knew she would go crazy over this one. And so it's about patience and about helping out, and it's so cute. And this one has English is in the black font, and then Spanish is in the white font. And it's cute how it's included in the illustrations, the different reading lines. See how cute the lines are put into the book. I got this one because it has rhyme, both in English and in Spanish. How do you hug a porcupine? ¿Cómo abrazas a un puercoespín? And it does rhyme in Spanish also, which sometimes doesn't happen. So you see, a cow with arms around her neck, that's how. A una vaca con los brazos en el pescuezo, así es eso. So it rhymes in both languages, and I like this one because of that. Also, I got 2 books for my almost 4-year-old because she's going into preschool, and so this is No, No, and No, 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 y No, by Muriel DeLance. Also, it's a really cute book about starting school, and it has English in the top and Spanish in the bottom. And Julieta va a la escuela. Julieta goes to school. I can talk a little bit about this in some other video, but we are considering taking our little one to preschool instead of homeschooling just this year. And so it's a little girl going into school, and I thought both would be good for her to kind of get into that idea. So those are the books I got from Scholastic, these bilingual books. They were very They were not expensive because they're not hardcover, and I like that they're bilingual. And so one last thing I got also through Scholastic is this series, this National Geographic Kids kind of short biographies about historical figures. And I got this set, I think it's 12 of them, and they were like, this set was like $2 each when you got the set of the National Geographic Kids biographies on these important figures. Abraham Lincoln. So my second 7-year-old got so excited to see the Abraham Lincoln one because, like I said, she's really into Abraham Lincoln. So she dove right into this one. I like that they come in different levels. There's a level 2 one. And for example, the Anne Frank one is level 3. And oh, she loved getting into this. She read it right away because it has so much information and such good colors and pictures. And she was talking about this for a while. She dove right in. So I really liked this series. We read about Helen Keller in her English curriculum, and she also right away loved looking into this. So this was kind of like a little extra resource to have for our homeschool. Whenever one of these figures pops up in what we're reading, we can, Albert Einstein, we can look into these and get a little bit more information, and it's kind of like a little extra resource. So I thought this was good for $2 each, this little series. So sorry if this was really long, but I just get excited about the books and wanted to share what we got recently for summer reading and some of our bilingual books. So I hope you enjoyed learning about what we got and maybe found some ideas. And so we'll see you next time.